Hang on. I dropped it. On this video, I would like to continue where I have been reading and doing brief expositions of John chapter 1, sort of working my way slowly through the text. We stop after the testimony of John, where Jesus now is calling his first disciples. This is John 1:35 to the end of chapter 1. We pick it up again. The next day, John was standing with two of his disciples, and he looked at Jesus as he walked and said, "Behold, the Lamb of God." Certainly, one of the great themes of the book of John is the sacrifice of Jesus. He is the Lamb of God, going back to the Passover and the Passover lamb. And Isaiah chapter 53, the Lord laid on him the iniquity of all of us. We're told the two disciples heard him speak, and they followed Jesus. Jesus turned and saw them following, and said to them, "What do you seek?" They said to him, "Rabbi," which translated means teacher, "where are you staying?" And he said to them, "Come, and you will see." So they came and saw where he was staying, and they stayed with him that day, for it was about the 10th hour. One of the things that I see in the ministry of Jesus is he invited people into his life. When my wife and I first began pastoring years ago, and we're no longer a pastor in a church, but I remember we were told, don't get close to your congregants. Basically, be distant from them. And I think as I read this, what a contrast with Jesus, who invited people into his home, into his life. I think one of the things we can do is to open up our lives and our homes to disciples, to those that we are seeking to pastor or train. One of the two then who heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He found first his own brother Simon and said to him, "We have found the Messiah," which translated means Christ. He brought him to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, "You are Simon, the son of John. You shall be called Cephas," which is translated Peter. It's interesting when you look at this, how Andrew really pointed to Christ, telling Peter that we have found the Messiah. And we're told he brought him to Jesus. One of the things that we're all called to do is to point people to Christ, to witness, to share, and simply tell them that we personally have found the one who we believe in as the Messiah, which is Jesus. And so when Peter then came, Jesus said, you're Simon, the son of John, but you'll be called Petros, Peter, a stone. So we're told the next day he proposed to go to Galilee, and he found Philip, and Jesus said to him, "Follow me." Now Philip was from Bethsaida of the city of Andrew and Peter. Notice Jesus says, "Follow me." And he's still saying that today. And we're to follow him if we're his disciple. Notice Philip was from Bethsaida of the city of Andrew and Peter. So then Philip found Nathanael. In other words, it's personal witnessing, personal sharing that I'm seeing here, as they are calling one person after another to follow Jesus. So Philip found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found him, of whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." In other words, John is writing to show that Jesus is the Christ. And so as he's recording this, we have Philip saying to Nathanael, "We have found the one whom Moses and the prophets talked about." And notice, Nathanael said to him, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Philip said to him, "Come and see." I think what a powerful witness. Come and see. Come and see for yourself. And that would be our message. Come and see. Focus on Christ. Come and see what he will do in each of our lives if we do that. So Nathanael said to him after he said that, by the way, if you want to be wise, go to Jerusalem. And there was that constant emphasis, even by the rabbis, that Nazareth doesn't have much to offer. But here Nathanael says, "Come and see." So as we continue on in this text, notice Jesus saw Nathanael and said to him, "Behold, an Israelite, indeed, in whom there is no deceit." Nathanael said to him, "How do you know me?" Jesus answered and said, "Before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you." So basically, I got sort of distracted with my video, but let me go back to where I was. Nathanael said, "How can any good thing come out of Nazareth?" Philip simply said, "Come and see." So Jesus saw Nathanael coming to him and said, "Behold, an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." Yeah, Jacob, probably going back to Jacob, who had his name changed to Israel. In other words, here is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit, Jesus said. Yaakov means heel grabber. He could be deceptive. And so this is one who Jesus said, "I don't find any deceit." Nathanael said to him, "Then how do you know me?" Jesus answered and said to him, "Before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you." Notice the omniscience of Jesus, who saw him at a distance. And Nathanael then answered and said, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." In other words, he knew that Jesus had to have been the divine Messiah, because how would he have known that he was under the fig tree without being close by? Looking at his omniscience, Jesus answered and said to him, "Because I said to you that I saw you under the fig tree, do you believe? You will see greater things than these that I'm telling you." And he said to him, "Truly, truly, I say to you, you will see the heavens open and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man." He goes back to what was happening with Jacob, where the angels were going up and down in the book of Genesis, descending upon him like a ladder. In other words, the ladder was sort of represented by coming down to Jacob and angels going up and down on it. This is applied to Jesus, who is that ladder. And I think John is saying he's the latter, and he's quoting Jesus. I say to you, you'll see heaven open, and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man. In other words, what was happened in the Hebrew Bible with Jacob and the angels descending and descending upon him, you're going to see this happen to me as the Son of God, showing that I'm the ladder that connects heaven and earth. I think really is what Jesus is saying.